Hey yo captains, how's it going man? So in this video I wanted to talk about as to what the actual reason was for Emirates ordering the 787-10 Dreamliners. Now when this news was announced I hadn't started my channel, but since now it's up and running I thought it'd be great to do an analysis on the whole topic. Now many people assume that Emirates ordering the Dreamliner was a choice between a medium range and a long range aircraft like the A350. Although this is partly true, it's not really the full story, it's actually more deeper than that. Now the fuselage cross section decides what can be done with the cabin. It also decides its width, but it also affects the weight and the drag of the overall fuselage. What this basically means is that if there is more fuselage surface area, then there will be more weight. If we compare the Dash 10 Dreamliner with the A350-900, the 787's fuselage width is 5.77 meters with a height of 5.97 meters, and the A350 fuselage is 5.96 meters wide and a height of 6.9 meters. What this essentially means is that the surface area of the 787 fuselage is 2.5% less for each unit length of the fuselage. Now you'd think that the cabin differences would be the same if they were the same length, right? Well, it doesn't. If the fuselage diameter is larger, then this will in turn affect the size of the nose and the tail. Now for aerodynamic reasons, you only angle the nose and the tail at a certain rate. If you have a larger diameter, then this means a longer nose and a tail, and also a higher center of gravity. Now I hope I'm not losing you here. If the fuselage weighs more than intended, then a larger wing and stronger engines will be needed to get the same performance. The overall effect is this: if the plane has a bigger fuselage, then it will have a higher empty weight and a higher drag. Now if you take out the difference in range for both of the planes, they're kinda the same. The 787 and the A350 are quite similar in how they're built. The 787 uses carbon composite fuselage sections and the A350 uses panel based sections, and the operational differences are quite minimal. Now there are a few consequences of manufacturing an aircraft for medium range, which is around 6,700 miles, and another aircraft for long range. The main difference is that the A350 needs to take off with more fuel on board. So if both of the planes can carry the same payload, there will be a higher empty weight and a higher takeoff weight. Basically, the A350 has a larger fuselage, wing and engines, and this all creates a higher drag and more fuel burn when flying the same payload over a route. The consequences of a heavier plane is not only a higher fuel burn, but it's also about choosing an aircraft which can handle the same number of crew for a flight, and the overall operational and the service costs. Operating a plane in and out of an airport is based on the size of the plane. If the maximum takeoff weight is higher, then the feed costs will also be more considerable. Now the 787 engine produces 76,000 pounds of thrust compared to 84,000 pounds for the A350. Now higher thrust and larger engines means higher maintenance costs. So regarding the question as to why Emirates chose the 787 over the A350, well, it all comes down to economics, functionality and also a bit of politics. Now an average 8-hour flight covers a distance of 3,800 miles. Now Boeing advertises the Dash 10 Dreamliner with a distance of 6,400 miles, compared to the A350 which can do around 8,000 miles. Now it doesn't make sense for Emirates to operate the A380 or the 777 on some routes where demand may not meet the functionality of the aircraft. Also, the 787 can operate at most regional airports and is a good driver for developing new markets to feed the country of Dubai. Now Emirates has calculated that the Dreamliner has got much better economics, and they would have ensured that they got them at a reasonable time frame just in time for when the older 777s will be retired. But it's also a stab in the back for Airbus. Now the CEO Tim Clark cancelled the A350 order long before any reliable data was available on the 787-10. I guess he wanted to show Airbus his power and the need for Airbus to produce the A380neo with impossible requirements. So you can assume that the decision of purchasing the Dreamliner was made quite a while back. But whatever the situation is, we can truly say that the 787-10 Dreamliner will be a great sight to see in Emirates' fleet.